to observe the movement of thought, not as an observer different from thought. Are we following? Can we go a little bit into this? Can one observe the movement of thought not as an observer looking at thought, but thought itself becoming aware of its own movement? You follow it? The awakening of thought, and thought itself becoming, a thought itself observing its movement. Can we do this? Take a very simple example, either greed or nationalism, which are both the same. To observe it as it arises in one, and then to discover for oneself, is the observer, is the thinker different from thought? I hope you're following all this. Am I making myself somewhat clear? I observe thinking. That's fairly easy. I separate myself as an observer and watch my thinking, which most of us do. But this division is illusory, is fallacious, because the thinker is thought. Right? So, can the observer be absent in his observation? You're getting what? Am I meeting? The observer, the thinker, is the past. The remembrance, the images, the knowledge, the experience, all the things that he has accumulated during that time, the past, is the observer. The observer names a reaction as greed, and when he names it, it's already caught in the past. I don't know if you're following all this. Whereas to observe this reaction without naming it, this reaction, which we call greed, by the very naming of it, you have established it in the past. It becomes the past. Whereas if there is no naming, but pure observation in which there is no division as the observer and the observed, the thinker and the thought, the experiencer and the experience, then what takes place? You're following all this? Are we coming along together somewhat? See, our conditioning is this division between the observer and the observed. That's why we make such enormous struggle to control the thing that was observed. Right? I'm greedy, that's the reaction. I am different from greed, and therefore I can control it. I can operate on it. I can suppress it, I can enjoy it, I can do something about it. But the fact is, the thinker is the thought. There is no thinker without thought. So, to observe without the past memories, reactions, all that projecting itself immediately in observation. Right? So, to observe purely, without any direction, without any motive, then one will find, if one goes into it pretty deeply, that thought does come to an end. Thought being time, right? Thought is a movement, and so time is a movement. So time is thought. Right, sir? So when one, this real meditation, you understand, not all the stuff that goes on in the name of meditation. This real meditation, which is to see the movement of thought, for thought to see its own movement, how it arises, the creating of the image and the pursuit of that image, and to observe it so that there is no recognition of what is being observed. You understand what I'm saying?